yeah, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you this first, and then we can talk about this. I do have maybe like questions for direction towards the sound, or
Yeah.
something like that, etc. But I'll play this one for you first. Uh, Mentality here is this looks fleshed out. This is not fleshed out. This was me like experimenting to find different sections, if that makes sense. And
Mhm.
it's also obviously not fully finished, which I don't need to justify or say, but here you go.
It seems like everything I'm doing, it seems so wrong and I don't even know how to see through it. It feels so heavy, I'm getting used to it. It's just a cycle, I was not even aware of it. Cause certainly you see, I've been living hella wrong. I've been moving on this game, I just wanna write these songs. Spend my nights in all these positions, the kind you can't tell mom. I ain't talking Karma Sutra, but I stay on fuck the law. I'd rather focus on the birds chirping. Even though I know that all these snakes lurking. I'd rather focus on the birds chirping. Cause if I look inside, then all I feel's confused and hurting. I'd rather focus on the birds chirping. Even though I know that all these snakes lurking. I'd rather focus on the birds chirping. Cause if I look inside, then all I feel's confused and hurting.
That's pretty much it. That section ain't even built out or anything or got any vocals, but yep, that's where I'm
Sweet.
at with it.
Yeah, I want to give you the floor and see if you had any questions that you wanted to, like, not even questions or just areas of interest you wanted to tackle, like, specifically with this track.
I do. I have a few things. So like it's almost like a caveat. I'm using a guitar loop. I downloaded that Martin Ample Sound acoustic guitar VST. I've just been losing myself to it because I'm trying to get this like sad boy Midwest emo fucking acoustic shit down. Um, and I don't like that I'm using a loop, but I've been failing with that so much that I'm using the loop and that like repetition. So I tried like doing, a tremolo here. I've got like an octave up here to try to add energy, blah blah blah. Um, the the rhythm of this verse into the rhythm of the chorus, it's all like so stagnant. Like it's all too much the same. I don't feel like there's a raise of energy, even like by adding harmonics and whatnot. And it is different, but like all of this section is all the same rhythm. And then the processing was weird. I tried
But,
using
I'm just curious, like, was there any reason you find it a problem? You just feel like by the time it gets to the drop, it's stagnant in
yeah,
like the
it gets
song or the
boring by
vocals
here.
specific?
I feel like it's just boring in the rhythm. Like there's not enough to keep the listener interested by the time they get to here in this verse,
Okay.
outside of knowing that the drop's coming. The processing on this is way more washed than the processing on the actual drop or chorus, which I like way more on the chorus. I don't know what the fuck I did different. Look, I used yours. Hey, but I kind of did that secondary because yeah, I have mine in here turned off. So, but yeah, I'm not happy with the processing on this. I do like the processing on this. This sounds good, but the I'd rather focus on the birds chirping. That B is so harsh. I've even tried to soften it through like fading it out, and I don't know if it's a compression thing, um, or
One thing you
whatever.
could do is you could just switch like what's the line again? Sorry.
Is rather focus on the birds chirping.
I'd rather focus on rather I'd rather focus on the chirping birds. Da 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 da. Just
Okay,
That
Yeah.
works for lines, that works for halves of lines, that works for two words next to each other, add
That's
or
cool.
remove a syllable, and that's all you ever need. It's like the cut, copy, paste of the fucking internet.
Yeah, yeah. So then my
Like,
question to follow up is, well, I guess you just rewrite because the follow up line that makes it rhyme within the
you don't have
chorus
to rewrite.
is the
What if you lean into it? Da focus, rather focus on the birds chirping. Go high on it.
okay.
Da da
Yeah,
focus on the birds. Just take out chirping. Take out I'd rather focus on a singing bird. Da.
just re
It's
well.
like
That's why. So like the
all
follow up line.
manipulations. Sorry.
No, no, you're fine. I hear you on the manipulations, and that will help a lot with, especially on the verse stuff, which I try. I sounded like Tom DeLonge. I was like, uh, in all these positions, the coins you can't tell them all. Like it sounded like Tom DeLonge at one point in the takes. But so it's like I'd rather focus on the birds chirping, even though I know that the snake's lurking or something, whatever I say. So it's like if I were to switch the chirping birds, the lurking snakes now no longer rhymes and kind of satiates that.
Okay.
You know
Okay.
what I mean? So how?
Mountain on a bird turban. I'd rather know. I don't know. Snakes lurking. Cut out
Okay,
maybe the no next time, and now you got a bit more interesting rhythm. Also, if the B is very plosive, you could try to contain it, and maybe I feel like for the higher notes, you need to push out more air so it kind of tames them a little. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Versus if you're hitting a low note, you really got to control that steady airflow to get that slow bass oscillation in your voice. So, a lot of airflow, go high on that. That'll help. Or lean into it. Uh uh n- uh I'd rather know all the birds chirping, 'cause it hurts when I look and the snakes lurking. Some like
okay. Just push
and
it almost.
have an internal match for it's not even a rhyme really, it's more of a rhythmic match
Yeah,
because it
like a amplitude
rhyme but
rhythmic, right?
emphasize it the same.
Hmm. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Honestly, that's the best solution, um, in my mind for this type of situation. I'm not happy with the writing. I didn't do it fast. I did it kind of quickly just from what it came to. So like I'd rather focus on the birds chirping. I'm not sure I'm happy with that. I'd rather focus. I was thinking about having that almost be like a delay on the second I'd rather. Um, but like it just seems, I don't know, it just doesn't seem smart enough or intuitive enough. But that comes from me not putting enough time into it either. But it's catchy, so I don't know. It's like,
And you're gonna be more critical of your own shit.
okay, yeah, that's true. Always.
Like I didn't particularly feel like the main thing I heard wrong from break to drop one is the verse vocal is just way quieter than the chorus.
Yeah, like I said, the processing is way weird on it.
That's
Like,
fine. You have the contrast between the verse and the chorus, which is really nice. Processing is one way to do it, delivery is one way to do it, rhythm, melody, all that stuff, obviously. But like for the most part, you know how I always talk about have a hierarchy of three? So you have forefront, secondary, and background.
yeah,
So in your vocals, your main vocal is like 20 layers, but you have the main layers, which are all consistent throughout the whole track, roughly the same volume, and then you can play with processing all that. But then you'll have the secondary layers. Maybe they pop in just for a word here or there at the end of phrases or whatever. And then your background layers are going to be your ad libs, the really like telephone EQ'd, reverbed away, really far sounding shit. And then sometimes you could layer the secondary with the main. Sometimes you could have the main be dry and the secondary comes in the gaps, whatever. And then you have a third layer still where you can complement. Like if these two are working together, all right, now my ad lib's gonna fill the space. Or if these are doing opposite, maybe I'll just throw in one or two ad libs. Or maybe it'll be more of like a chant. Hey, yeah, on the snare or something like that. And then you can also change the approach from section to section to really make your vocals dynamic. So maybe the verse, you're like only primary and secondary. And then in the pre, I'll bring in the ad libs, and these two are working together. And then in the chorus, I'm going to make everything work together, double up on the layers, have the ad libs just repeating the exact same words, maybe harmonize, give it a different texture, whatever. And now you're getting a very fluid kind of movement to what feels like one thing, the vocal. But the vocal's comprised of 3 different layers.
It's really the last like 2 or 3 sessions that we did, like in the last 3 weeks, all of them kind of just clicked together. Like all of those pieces came together. And yeah, man, I'm having an awesome time. I was even listening to songs that I was doing like 5 months ago, and I was like, this is not even the same person. Like I can't even, like I listened to it, I'm like, oh, I don't even want to, I was going to go back and like remix them or kind of work on them. And I was like, I don't even want to, like, these are too far behind. Like I'm just going to make something new that's better. And yeah, man, I'm stoked. It's awesome.